I am a person that stands by everything I believe in. So if you try to take advantage of me, I will check you. I ain't gonna say.
Get in here quick, because this one's wild. Word on the street is that Angie and D'Angelo were getting way too close to uncovering something the industry never wanted out there. Allegedly, Angie gave D'Angelo solid proof, receipts, tapes, everything that could expose a group of powerful execs doing things straight out of a nightmare. Before her tragic death, Angie reportedly confided in D'Angelo, telling him she feared for her life because they didn't want her talking about the dark, twisted stuff they'd done to her. She even handed over a tape. Yeah, a real tape, packed with evidence that could ruin careers and expose hidden secrets forever. But here's where it gets eerie. Just days after that handoff, Angie accidentally lost her life in a car crash that to this day makes no sense. And get this, right when Katt Williams was gearing up to help D'Angelo reveal what was on that tape, D'Angelo also turned up dead. So what's really going on here? Were Angie and D'Angelo silenced by the higher-ups who run everything from the shadows? And what exactly is Katt Williams saying that's got everyone clutching their pearls? Let's dive straight into this madness.
Lies will be exposed, that's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
So here's where things get real interesting. Everybody's been saying D'Angelo passed away after a long battle with pancreatic cancer, right? His family even dropped an official statement confirming it and thanking fans for their support. But now, people are digging deeper, and what they're finding is making that cancer story look a little too clean. Rumor has it D'Angelo had been fighting something else long before that diagnosis. The industry itself. From the very moment he blew up, insiders say certain executives started pushing him toward those shady, behind-closed-doors freak-offs that everyone whispers about. When D'Angelo refused to play that game, everything flipped overnight. Opportunities disappeared, calls stopped, and the infamous blackballing kicked in fast. That's when the pressure began. Deals got pulled, shows got canceled, and his once bright spotlight started to dim. But D'Angelo didn't back down. He kept his integrity and pushed forward, dropping his legendary album Brown Sugar in 1995, proving he didn't need to sell out to make magic. That Brown Sugar album had the whole world craving a taste of D'Angelo's sound. And let's be honest, his vibe too. It was smooth, soulful, and straight up addictive. But even though it was a hit, something strange happened afterward.
And I'll tell you the nature of the industry. Back when I was in a very high-profile relationship with D'Angelo, shortly after the breakup between us, everything kind of slowed down in my world in terms of tour dates, work. The perception was the worst thing. That they were single-handedly put in charge of sending out letters everywhere to make people think that I was the cause of him being exposed to alcohol, to drugs, to everything that could have gone wrong, and we need you to mail this out. And that person knew that it was all fabricated, and they were willing to go on record. And they don't care today, but they're willing to go on record to tell the truth. You can imagine how shocked I was to know that they actually mailed letters out into the industry, blaming me for the fall and the demise of someone's career. It really gets me upset because I don't do any of this stuff that a lot of people have fallen victim to. I will tell you this, as a young person, we all tried things, but no, I have never I wouldn't want the chastisement from God for being responsible for breaking another person's gifting. That's not cool.
D'Angelo didn't drop another project for 5 whole years. When he finally came back with Voodoo, the success was massive. But so were the changes in his life. Behind the fame, D'Angelo was cracking under the pressure. He started getting labeled a problem, and soon the headlines flipped from praising his voice to calling him a substance addict. According to D'Angelo himself, the real issue was deeper. He was tired of being objectified and disrespected by the very industry that claimed to love him. After that infamous, untitled How Does It Feel video, the attention became suffocating. People weren't talking about his lyrics anymore. They were talking about his body. Fans, critics, and even record executives were acting wild, making him feel like he was just some product to be used. Yeah, you heard that right. Industry execs allegedly wanted a piece of him too. It was sickening. So to numb the pain, D'Angelo turned to substances.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Let's be real, have you seen D'Angelo back in his prime? Everyone and their mama wanted a piece of that man. But what people didn't see behind the lights was how dark it got. Those powerful industry execs, the same ones caught up in all kinds of freaky after-hours circles, were allegedly coming for him hard. It got so twisted that D'Angelo himself admitted he started deliberately gaining weight just to make those Hollywood creeps back off, and he even said in one interview, "One time I got mad when a female threw money at me on stage, and that made me feel messed up. I threw the money back and said, 'I'm not a stripper.'" That's when he made a decision. He said, "I'm going into the woods, drink some hooch, grow a beard, and get fat." He wasn't joking either. See, deep down, D'Angelo was a man of faith. He grew up in church choirs wanting to sing for something pure and meaningful. But the industry twisted his image until he couldn't even recognize himself. He said he found himself asking, "Am I doing this for God or am I doing this for sex?" That confusion broke him down from the inside out. And sure enough, by 2005, the world saw the results of that internal war. He was arrested on DUI charges, and when that mugshot hit the internet, people were shocked. D'Angelo had completely transformed. He wasn't that chiseled, smooth R&B star anymore. He was tired, heavier, and clearly battling something much deeper than just fame. While everyone was wondering why D'Angelo disappeared from the spotlight, the truth was heartbreaking. During all that time, he wasn't dropping music. He was drowning in alcohol and hard substances, trying to cope with the trauma and manipulation he'd faced in the industry. The fame, the objectification, the constant pressure. It all ate away at him until he couldn't escape the pain anymore. But that wasn't even the half of it. Before Voodoo ever hit the charts, things with Angie had already fallen apart. Their breakup got messy fast, with rumors swirling that D'Angelo had even distanced himself from their son once it all ended. That hit Angie hard, especially since their relationship had already been the talk of the town for years. See, when they first got together, D'Angelo was just 20, barely getting his footing in life, while Angie was 32. That 12-year gap made people talk, and not in a good way. Folks were side-eyeing the whole situation, saying Angie had no business being with someone that young, and honestly, many felt she should have known better. People said, "Girl, yes, he was fine, but come on, you couldn't find someone your age?" Like, seriously. What's a 32-year-old doing having a baby with a 20-year-old who can't even legally buy a drink yet? It was wild from the start. But anyway, once Angie and D'Angelo split, things got even uglier behind the scenes. Angie later revealed that after their breakup, some major players in the industry made it their mission to destroy her reputation. They started spinning stories, trying to make it look like she was the reason D'Angelo's career went downhill. These were the same executives who had allegedly tried to pressure D'Angelo into those disturbing freak-off situations and even introduced him to substances he had never touched before. But instead of taking accountability for the mess they caused, they pointed the finger at Angie. They pushed fake headlines, whispers, and industry gossip, trying to convince everyone that she was the one who got D'Angelo hooked, that she was some toxic woman dragging him down. But Angie stood firm, saying she had never touched a hard substance in her entire life. Here's where it gets downright chilling. Right when Angie started calling out all the shady industry behavior, things took a terrifying turn. Out of nowhere, she landed in the hospital, fighting for her life after suffering from a mysterious blood infection. Doctors couldn't explain how it happened or where it came from, and that's when Angie started realizing something wasn't right. While she was recovering, she noticed more red flags. Her financial records weren't adding up. Money was missing, payments were off, and there were strange adjustments being made by her record label. It was as if someone had been playing with her earnings right under her nose. The timing? Way too suspicious. So the moment Angie got out of that hospital bed, she didn't stay quiet. She snapped. She jumped on social media, putting everyone on blast. Angie started exposing names, calling out corruption, and warning her fans that what she was dealing with wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. She said point blank that there was a spiritual attack on her life and told everyone, "If anything happens to me, don't believe for 1 second it was natural." Angie was letting the world know. She knew they were coming for her, and she didn't want anyone falling for whatever cover-up story they'd spin after the fact. And guess what happened next? Just days after Angie went public with those warnings, tragedy struck in the most chilling way imaginable. Around 4 a.m., while she was driving back from a show, her car mysteriously lost control and flipped several times on a quiet stretch of road. Witnesses said it was a brutal crash. Her car was completely mangled and several of her crew members were badly hurt too. But here's the part that'll make your blood run cold. Angie didn't die from the crash itself. She was still alive, slowly crawling her way out of the wreck, fighting to survive. Then out of nowhere, a huge truck came speeding down that same road and slammed straight into her. That impact is what actually took her life. People have been side-eyeing this ever since. Like, how does a second vehicle just appear at that exact moment on an empty highway in the middle of the night? Well, here's where things get even deeper. Word on the street is that Katt Williams isn't buying the accident story at all. He's convinced something sinister went down, and he's made it clear he's not stopping until the truth comes out. Katt's been on a full mission to expose the dark side of the entertainment industry, and this situation with Angie and D'Angelo only pushed him harder. According to insiders, Katt was actually in contact with both Angie and D'Angelo before their deaths. Angie had reportedly told him straight up that she felt her life was in danger. Katt was doing what he could to help keep her safe, checking in, moving quietly, trying to protect her from the people she said were watching her. But somehow they still got to her. And not long after, D'Angelo was gone too. What's even crazier? Katt says he knows this pattern all too well because the industry tried to take him out too. They went after his career, his reputation, even his safety. But Katt slipped through the cracks and made it out alive. Since then, he's been on a mission, trying to warn, protect, and help others break free from the same darkness he escaped. After all this chaos, people online are losing it. One person reacted saying, "He looked healthy. Somebody was practicing witchcraft on D'Angelo in recent years." Another person jumped in saying, "Please, black artists, stop making these deals with these big industry execs. Be independent. There's no music industry without us. Make them see that." The comments are flooded with people who think none of this was coincidence. And honestly, can you blame them? From Angie's mysterious car crash to D'Angelo's sudden death and Katt Williams' ongoing crusade against the industry, it's all painting a picture that feels too calculated to ignore. The deeper you look, the darker it gets. But now I really want to hear from you. What do you think about Angie Stone and D'Angelo allegedly being taken out before they could expose the truth? And do you believe Katt Williams is risking everything by putting this madness on blast? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who loves uncovering the real Hollywood drama. Hit that bell so you never miss an upload, and I'll see you on the next one.